All right, everybody. What's up? What's up? This is Brandon Phillips, District Manager for the 865 Knife Knox. I just changed the camera on you. My bad. If you want to say hey, though, you can come over here.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Yeah, you can come over here.
Hey, guys.
So, I know that this week the theme is your favorite sports team. So proud of those that showed up in your favorite sports outfit. Olivia, what you wearing over there? Is that your school?
No, it's UT.
UT? Okay. We got a lot of UT in the house. Kay, what you wearing?
All my UT stuff's back in my dorm, so I just have an Olympic shirt on.
Yeah, Olympics counts. Olympics counts for sure. And then we got obviously Carter with the Braves supporting Mr. Franklin. Right. That said, I'm going to change into mine after I kick off the meeting. All right. So again, we have a couple people arriving late today. Appreciate you being on time for the meeting. Always important, right? We show up on time, we finish on time, we get work done. So everybody, our agenda for today, we're going to start out with our phone jam. Then we'll have our mantra, our icebreaker for today. I like today's because I like to focus on gratitude. So I think I'm gonna like hearing what we have. Making sure everybody's in the WhatsApp, making sure we know how to communicate, how we actually are pumping up the team, people that have success. We're gonna make up our social media posts. We've been killing that game. Like it's been so cool watching the feedback that we get as we've been making these social media posts and how many people are applying through it. And there's been a lot of sharp people coming from it. So I can't wait to really put gasoline on this fire. As we especially hit after opening day, because I have a list of 100 previous reps that I'm just gonna be texting, hey, if you don't mind, I'll pay you $10 to up a post, right? When you're a sales rep, you bring people on the team. Now we just have a better team too, right? So we're gonna have a lot of people applying as we hit April. And then we have a special speaker today, Mr. William Eubank. I met this gentleman. He runs a marketing firm where it's basically outdoor advertising for the big billboard banners that you see. And he runs this like all across the country. Like I met him in Chattanooga. He's like, yeah, no, I have billboards all over. And I was like, when you say all over, like, you mean like East Tennessee or what? He's like, yeah, no, like we're country. Like we go nationwide. I was like, all right. And you work for Costco? So it was really cool to hear his story, his background. I think you're going to take a lot of value from it. From there, I'm doing a talk on professionalism today that I feel like Jacob asked for. It's going to be able to build a lot of value in each of you as well. From there, spring schedule, talking about opening day, making sure we get final signups done. We're going to role play and do our challenge for the day. And then we have PDI, recognition for it, and what we did this previous week, key staff and promotions. I'm really excited for our key staff. I feel like if you've been like actually a part of key staff and watching the videos, I feel like this is the first time I've really stepped up the game with key staff. So I'm excited for it. And I feel like these promotions are going to be pretty cool. And then we have PCs that we're going to get set up. I'm meeting with some people on Sunday from our team. I will let you know as we go through the day who those people are, and we'll set up that time. And then from there, Vector Impact, my Cutco rep, make sure we have it all done and we'll wrap up today. Okay. So last week we switched it up. We did the phone jam at the end. We're going back to doing it at the beginning because Mr. William Eubank is going to be joining us right at 6:55. So he's going to join in, be a part of the initial start to the team meeting after we do the phone jam. And it's going to be really cool to have him on. So everybody get your names and numbers ready. Who rescheduled on you this past week? Who do you know that you need to call this week? Right? Go ahead and make your list of people. Jed, you're looking at me like you're already ready.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I love that. Go ahead and get it out. Get it ready. Zach, you got your list ready? Dope. I love it. Mr. Carter, Mr. K, Olivia, you got your list ready? Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. When you're calling, 3 things you always need: your script, your list of who you're going to call, and your schedule. Right? If you have those 3 things, you can make phone calls wherever you're at. From there, when you call, it's a who's next mentality, right? Just get through your list. If you're calling 20 people, get through the list of 20 people. Book the ones that book, ones that don't answer. Cool. Who's next? Right? Always have that mentality of just getting the work done. And it makes it a lot easier to not have the emotional roller coaster of nobody's answering or, oh my God, I booked 3. Right? Cool. You booked 1. Who's next? Right? From there, number 3, follow your script. Smile while you dial. Right? They can hear that. And if it sounds like you're having fun on the phone, they're going to show the appointment because, oh, well, it was a cool phone call. Like it might be a cool appointment too. Okay. From number 4, always offer 2 times. Again, we do not say arounds. We do not say issues. We do not say abouts. And then number 5, every boom is 1 entry into the raffle. Tonight we're doing a 3-inch Santoku paring knife. So it's gonna be pretty cool. Can't wait to see who wins it. So everybody pick your battle station. All right. It is phone jam time. And make sure, of course, you call using Vector Impact. What do we yell when we book a demo? Zam. So it's not every boom gets you a drawing. It's every zam gets you a drawing. All right. People on Zoom, let me hear you say it.
Sam.
Damn.
Damn.
Okay. Kira said you have to do it again. She said that was not good enough.
All of us?
I mean, Carter, yours was all right. I wouldn't.
I tried to never mind. Can't say that one.
Inner spirit girl, right?
Yeah, I'm like white girl. I just went to UT freshman year. I tried to do it all.
I love that. All right, one more time. Let's hear it all together. What do we say when we book a demo?
Sam.
Damn.
Damn. Better?
I'm gonna try this one more again. One more again. What do we say when we book a demo?
Sam.
Damn.
There we go. There we go. That's a little bit better. We're gonna keep working on that. All right. When Mr. William hops on, please let's bring a little more energy. All right. I'm really excited to have him on. So I'm gonna stop the recording for now so we can break into the phone jam. I'm gonna start this recording. I will be in my jersey once we start it. So everybody, battle station's ready. We're dialing real quick. I want to hear goals. So we're gonna start in person. Mr. Zach. Demo goal.
How many I'm gonna try to book this week?
Yes.
15.
So in this phone jam, how many more are you trying to book?
Well, 10.
Good.
I've already got 5 for next week.
So you're gonna try to stay here until you book 10 more demos. So if you're here till 9 o'clock,
Well, I mean,
so in an hour, how many are you
an
gonna try to book?
hour I could book. Let's make it 7.
7? I like it. Zach said 7. Huh, I wrote a Z instead of a 7. That's funny. Jed.
I only need one.
1?
Yep.
All right. What's up, E-Man? Carter, what's your demo goal? How many are you trying to book up right now?
3. Or just fill up my Sunday.
I like it. Cade.
Probably try to get 1 or 2 more for the rest of the week before I go out of town.
I like it. Olivia.
1.
What was that?
1.
1? Cool. E-Man. I knew that was coming out your mouth before you said it. Every week, 3 demos. Every week, about $400 or $500 sold. Right? He runs a super busy schedule too. So, everybody, you know the assignment. We also have our new training class. Mason, who is on Zoom in a breakout room, and then Mr. Peyton, who is here in the office, phoning right now for their first demos. My word of encouragement is do not let them beat you. So, get your battle stations ready. Make sure your phone calls are ready. Let's book these demos thing. All right, so to recap the phone jam. All right, we did pretty good here, all right? I even got a zam. We have Mason, one of our 2 people in training this week, booking 6. We have Peyton booking 5. PR, by the way, of Mr. Zach Wallace. So I feel like he might be chasing you down. So like, let's look out for it, man. Let's keep him motivated. Let's get that competition going. Let me 865-244-9527. So recount the rest. Even I got a zam. We got Zach on the board with 6, 1 short of his goal, but 6 in an hour. Like that's pretty good. That's good productivity. I like it. We have Mr. K booking 1 before he goes on spring break. Super excited for that. We have E-Man booking 3. We got Molly back on the phone. Was that 2 or was that 3? Did you call it your last name?
She's calling her sister from Germany right now, so I don't know when I'm getting a call back, but they both really want to buy the knives.
I like it. I like it. They said we want to do a joint appointment. Can we do that? We're twin sisters. Mr. William, welcome to the office. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about y'all?
Dude, it's been a great day so far. It's been a great day so far. I've already been building you up to the team too.
I hope you didn't build me up too much.
Just some minor details, you know. You might be a cool cat, you know, somebody that they might need to listen to, might need to take some notes on. So
Were you,
we're gonna get kicked into the team
were
meeting.
you able to go back 35 years and pull my old stats?
I was not. That was before like Vector Connect, which is our new like everything admin portal existed. So no, unfortunately, I don't know your actual numbers, but you can pretty much make up whatever you want because there's no fact checking that I can do, you know? So,
Absolutely.
guys, really proud of the results with the phone jam. Really excited for what we're building and where we're headed. All right. Our team mantra, I actually wrote it out this time. That way everybody knows it, especially Zach. This is your first team meeting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? Welcome, man. Little round of applause for Zach crushing out his fast start. That's awesome. We are the 865 Knife Knocks. I'm not sure if y'all heard, but our office is going to do $1 million this year. Yeah. All right. So today's
That's awesome.
icebreaker. Thank you, Mr. William. And I'll actually have you start us. Today's icebreaker, what are you just most grateful for? All right, we're coming to everybody. So in life right now, just what are you really grateful for? Lead it away, Mr. Eubank.
I'm grateful for the team that I'm on now. Probably outside of Cutco, best team that I've had in my working career.
Oh, Petco like left that big of an impact, huh?
It did.
I love-
Absolutely.
I love that. All right, let's knock out the rest of the Zoomies. Mr. Cade.
I'd say this job's been pretty beneficial for me. A lot of experience in it that I wouldn't get anywhere else.
I love that. I love that. Anything outside of Cutco that you're grateful for right now, by the way?
Being able to go to University of Tennessee, it's been a great time.
Amen.
A lot
Amen.
of the good sports programs, I'll say that.
Right. I also say to everybody that, you know how they have the tours that go around campus? I'm like, hey, if you get one thing, like you're going to build amazing calves from this campus. Like you are going to walk a lot of hills, right? Olivia.
I'm grateful for my friends that I've made at Wise.
Amen. Right. I interviewed a lady yesterday and she's like, I haven't actually met Olivia, but like I follow her on Instagram. I've seen her around campus and she just seems like she's so cool. I was like, look at Olivia over here making friends and setting examples. All right. So in the office, here's our squad. So Mr. Brink, take it away. By the way, raise your hand so Mr. William knows.
I mean, probably here, since I moved here like a year and a half ago, probably Cutco, because this has been like my first family outside of my real family. That's been in Knoxville. So just hold this, you, Jacob, whole team.
Amen. Love that. Next.
I'm Zach. I'd say probably the friendships I've been able to make at Carson Newman.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's why you're here, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
I'm most grateful for my hardworking parents.
E-Man says it's hardworking parents. Laid a good foundation or what?
What is?
I said, did they lay a good foundation
Yeah.
for you or what?
Yes.
Very cool.
I'm Jacob. I'm grateful for just the opportunity to go up to Johnson City and actually run my own office by myself, but not by myself at the same time. So that's what I'm grateful for at the moment.
Amen. And last but not least,
I'm Jed. I'm grateful for my mom, because she's all I got and all I need.
amen. That said, I love that your mom rewarded you the way she did, and she's proud of you for hitting 10K in sales. By the way, a little round of applause for Mr. Bull hitting 10K, 30% commission. That's fire, man. Like I always tell anybody once they hit 10K, like that's where the job actually begins. Like that's where you actually start getting to work part-time to make a full-time income. That's where you can go and do 5 demos in a week, make 3 sales. Whoops, I sold $1,000 and make $300 for working 5 hours. Like, there's not many places where you can go and do that legally. I'll say that, right? So, as we hop in today, I want to make sure everybody's in the WhatsApp. I believe, Zach, we've gotten you into the WhatsApp now. Everybody here, A-Man, you're in the WhatsApp. Brink, you're in there. Cool, cool. Olivia, Cade, you're in the WhatsApp. Great. All right, so when it comes to our WhatsApp, all right, this is our office communication line. And one thing I've been really proud of lately is actually starting to see some fire and like supporting the other team members. Somebody makes a sale, somebody gets some recommendations, like let's recognize that. Let's keep that energy and momentum going. That's really cool. So anything that's hot news, anything that's nuggets, if you watch, I watch a lot of YouTube content right now on different things from taxes to being a better manager, to interview skills, to sales skills. Like if you watch a video and you hear a quote, like add it to the chat. If the whole video is fire, like I know that you've seen me do this, I just drop the link to the video. Like, hey, check this out. It might be worth your time. If you have something personally that's exciting or motivational, you can share that in the WhatsApp too. All right. And then if you have general questions, who's ever called the office line and like, oh, nobody answered the office line? Right? Jacob today was running training. I was at a show at the Corvette Expo, right? So sometimes it's going to happen. And so you can use the actual WhatsApp. Hey guys, I'm on this demo. I'm trying to make this deal. Any advice, right? Hey guys, I'm trying to put this in. I'm getting this error message. How do I fix this? Like, you know what's really cool? I think each and every one of you have like sold knives before. Is that true or true? So somebody else might have dealt with the dilemma you're going through. And so they might be able to help you and help you fix that order or help you put that in. Another Sam? Nice. So real quick, because Molly just finished a phone call, I'm going to give her a chance to share too. I'm going to put you on screen real quick so that everybody can see you. Miss Molly, the question is, what are you grateful for?
My
Oh,
sister.
one second. Hold on one second.
Hold on to your gratefulness.
Yeah, stop it. Yeah, hold on. I'm grateful just a
I'm
moment.
not grateful now.
All right. So, Molly, what are you grateful for?
My sisters. It's been nice getting to hang out with them more since I've been back.
Amen. That's so cool, right? You get to see them actually grow up. You're not away, right?
Yeah, I can actually like gossip with them. It's fun.
That's funny. All right, everybody. So next on the agenda is our social media post. This has been working so well. Does anybody have questions about how to make this post? I think Zach, you might.
Yeah.
Cool. So what we do is you go on Instagram, you go to your story, you make a picture that you would normally post, right? Anything that you would normally post, whether it's a track meet, whether it's a football game, whether it's just a picture of you, right? You go on, you edit that picture to say the following stuff. Must be 17 plus. Don't put holiday work, student work, spring semester work, great opportunity, whatever you want to put in there. Again, you make it your own. Super flexible, must be 17 plus, $30 base pay. And then the link that we use, you type 865studentwork.com in your Safari or whatever your browser is on your phone. That'll take you to the Google Doc link. That is the link that we use to post for the link in Instagram. So everybody take 5 minutes because I think we figured this part out. Zach, if you need help, let us know. But go on your Instagram, make a post for us, help us build the team. You can then save that photo, take it to your Snapchat, put it on your Snapchat story, and then just re-link the link. So everybody, I'm gonna turn up the tunes only slightly enough that they don't appear in the microphone because I don't want to get copyrighted when I put this on YouTube.
Everyone starts singing the lyrics really loudly.
Well, that wouldn't even matter. It's the background music and all of it that goes together.
No, it's the sound too.
Mr. William, is this taking you back to the culture, taking you back to your old team meetings?
Absolutely. Minus social media, of course.
You didn't have that back then?
We had the good old corded telephone. If we were lucky, we had a wireless, handheld wireless telephone.
Dude, I'm so excited for you to talk because I feel like when you talk about like some of the instances of how you had to make phone calls and like using like landlines versus like having cell phones, like I don't think these people realize like how easy the job is compared to what you had to do back in the day.
It was, we get 3 of us at a time and we just take turns passing the phone around. And after you got off your call, your buddy went and then the next guy went and we just keep going around for about an hour or two, depending on the night and how many appointments we needed.
That is so cool.
Training with 20 people passing around a landline.
Right? Like, and
That's a social.
back then you could buy like a 20-foot extension cord so that way you could actually like pass the phone versus like having a cell phone. Oh man, save the stories because I'm gonna give you like a good 10 minutes to talk about whatever you want. But like that is the stuff that I'm excited for them to hear because it's gonna bring clarity. I already know. While they're doing this though, what have you been doing this week?
I was down south of Dalton, Georgia today. Probably saw 15 clients, give or take, and then headed back up this way and shot out some emails and proposals before I got on this call.
So to clarify that, is that 15 appointments, like 15 back-to-back meetings with clients, or?
So no, some of those were current clients. Some were brand new calls, and yeah, I don't think I had one set appointment today. And I have a pretty good idea of when my customers are in their offices and when they aren't. It used to be, I stopped by one guy today, it was a company called Health and Tire. And I asked him, I said, what happened to your Humvee? Because he had a Hummer and used to drive a Hummer. And he said, oh, I sold that the other week. And when I pulled up, I was like, oh man, he's not here. Well, I'll walk in and at least say I came by. But sure enough, he was there. So, which was good.
Like you just did stop-ins, like the schedule of your clients and like just were able to go to their businesses to see them?
Most of the time. Yeah.
That's cool. There's a little note, by the way, in prospecting and knowing your clients' times and when's the best time to call them or see them. Like,
You kind of figure it out after a while.
right?
Well, what was really good is I've got a new client that we signed up on a promo event. It's a 2-week free advertising on one of our billboards, and after that time's up, then we try to get them obviously to buy something.
Yeah.
And she was down there looking for her billboard today. She's not familiar with the area. She sent me an email, and I called her up and gave her look for Wendy's restaurant on East Walnut Avenue. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I can find that." And I said, "You'll see the billboard right in their parking lot." And so I was able to help her find her way. And then she invited me to one of the grand opening things. And they've got offices from Chattanooga down to Cartersville.
Nice. That's powerful, man. Look at you giving that customer service too.
I got a little lucky, I'll be honest, but I just happened to be in Dalton today too at the same time, so it worked out well. And I had my computer with me, even better yet.
Nice. That's very cool. When y'all finish, by the way, doing your post, make sure you send it to me on the office line to verify. Make sure that it was done right. Yeah. I'm like so excited to hear his talk. So you're going to type 865studentwork.com into your Safari browser.
Yeah.
And then copy that Google Docs link. Instagram has a blocker. They don't like forwarded website addresses.
So Brandon, do y'all get into the LinkedIn stuff? Because we went through a training about, I don't know, 8 months ago on a lot of the LinkedIn stuff. I don't mess with it a ton, but there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. I know that.
Yeah, I mean, so let me start there, I guess. Let me ask that question to the group. Everybody, I'm going to switch the camera. Show of hands if you have a LinkedIn account. So that might be something we get to have you come back and talk about its importance, Mr. William.
Getting me into social media expertise might be a wrong hole for me to go down.
Yes. So LinkedIn is something that we start teaching in our leadership academy. So that is one thing that is like, hey, if you don't have this by the end of summer, like make it, because we're going to help you start building your resume on it. And it's also a really good way to connect with future employers, other classmates, and things like that. So
I do have a LinkedIn account, and that's about all. Although my boss made me sign up for a thing called Marco Polo the other day.
oh man.
So I'm now on Marco Polo. I asked him why we couldn't use one of my 200 other apps that I have on my phone that I don't use, but
But now you're using Marco Polo?
we are using Marco Polo. I used it for the first time the other day.
My parents love Marco Polo. We'll get random video messages.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
You can send all kinds of stuff through Marco Polo.
What is Marco Polo?
It's another messaging app. That's basically what it is. But yeah, you can send. It's basically like Snapchat, but the stuff is still there. It doesn't get deleted. That's the easiest way I can say it.
What's it called again?
Marco Polo. But
Oh,
yeah, it's like when you're in a pool, Molly.
go.
Polo. All right, I'm gonna give 2 more minutes. Even they're better at like social media than me. And the one time I pulled up my social media, all my recruiting staff basically roasted me on it. So they're like, "You're definitely a millennial." I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right,
Is
calm
it
down."
Logo Street post?
Audrey, Kira, and Alyssa. When I had it up on page,
You are millennial.
when I pulled it up, you don't remember that? It's about a month ago.
Hold one up then.
My Instagram.
Oh, yeah, they're like, hey, not good.
Yeah, this is not good, Brandon. I'm just like, all right.
That's why Audrey's your
Social media manager for the office line, or for the office Instagram. All right, 1 minute, 1 minute. Again, just like always, doing this also gets you another chance in our drawing for the 3-inch paring knife. So after we get all these in, Jacob, you can go and start making that spin the wheel as well. And we can just do it from your computer.
this summer look outside, you know what I mean?
It does feel like summer.
Like, it's one of those cooler days that the birds are up.
Mhm.
Well, let us actually like not drive outside as it's feeling too.
Right?
It's so nice.
I left the office at 7:30 the other day. I'm like, oh wow, the sun hasn't even set.
That's how
That's like crazy. You been enjoying the warm weather, William?
I have absolutely enjoyed it. I think we're supposed to get some pretty heavy storms through here Saturday night. But it's been great. In fact, I went out on the boat with a friend of mine yesterday. He took his boat out and got it out from wintertime, and so we went out there and hung out for a little bit and enjoyed the lake.
Nice, nice. Small little flex. Hey, my friend got the boat. We went out. I love that, man. So wait, did y'all end up buying a boat at the boat show?
I actually bought I bought a wave runner. There, I couldn't. Well, I won't say I couldn't afford. I didn't want to afford some of the boats.
Yeah, I mean, $200K for a boat might be a little bit high, you know.
Yeah.
Big payments on that?
Yeah. What are they?
Like a car?
That's a great question for William. I feel like you can do like a 15-year mortgage on a boat. Is that right, William?
I don't know. I just pay cash.
You heard the man. You heard the man. That's not how you buy boats, Jacob. All right. So far,
But I think you can finance them out for 15, maybe even 20 years.
Yeah, it's like
I thought it was like a car, you got 60 months to pay 200K.
Cade, E-Man, Brink.
Almost
You're not on my board, but Brink, there you are. You're in the drawing now. Boom. Jid. Zach. Carter. Wait, who said Carter? Oh, got you. Yeah. No, Carter, Olivia, Molly, still waiting on your post to come through. So keep working on those. Did I mark you? Yeah, email's marked.
I can't see.
Got you.
It's blocked by the camera.
And it might be black, it might be red. You never know. All right, so everybody, we have a special guest today, Mr. William Eubank. Thank you for, by the way, having LinkedIn because it allowed me to go pull some information about you. He works for Fairway Outdoor Advertising. He's an account executive for them. So he's kind of started talking about his story a little bit for what he does. But essentially he meets with clients. He helps them get the right kind of advertising for their business in the right areas to help drive and provide just more business opportunities for them, right? Just like we put out these social media posts, it's the same thing, but it's on the road. People drive by them every single day. Now, today, oh, by the way, he also worked for Pinnacle. That's a mortgage company, right?
No, so it's a Pinnacle club that it was a club that we got in by sales. It was a sales award. Pinnacle Club was a top level club that all top people got into.
Oh, so this is for the same company?
Well, so Pinnacle Club was actually under the Clear Channel umbrella, as where the President's Club was under Fairway umbrella and Clear Channel. So, and in my needless to say, my LinkedIn's not exactly up to date. So I'm currently at Trailhead Media, which is another outdoor company. Fairway Outdoor got bought out by a company called Adams Outdoor, at which point I left there and went to a company called Billboards for Education and then on to Trailhead after he sold out to Trailhead. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. A couple of transfers, right?
Absolutely.
I think that you've already kind of heard in the way he speaks and how he talks about things, like he knows what he's doing in life. He's reached where he wants to be. And I mean, if you're just like, hey, I'm not going to buy a boat on payments, like that's probably a place where we'd all like to be one day. Yes or yes? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, William. I usually expect more energy, but they're trying to be polite. Yes or
Yeah,
yes?
you're
There we go. All right. So I have him on today talking about his time with Cutco, his experience, advice, takeaways that he took into the future, his current role, and Cutco's impact in doing that. And then honestly, anything else that you feel like would be valuable for the team, William, I've got 10 minutes mapped out for you. If you go over just a little bit and it's fire, like so be it. It's just more value for them. So I'm going to flip this camera around. And then the floor is now yours. Take it away.
Excellent. Well, my name's William Eubank. I worked for Cutco in my early college years, which was, I started college in 89. So around 91 was when I started at Cutco. It provided me just a huge amount of training and expertise that without it, I would not be where I am today, without a doubt. We had over 100 salespeople in our office. My first year, I finished number 4 out of 100, went on to be a assistant branch manager, went up to Olean, New York to tour the factory. Just a great overall experience. Was it hard work? Yeah. So before doing Cutco, I was digging above ground pools. We'd put in a pool every day. We worked daylight to dark. I'd come home. I was so beat I didn't even want to take a shower. Uh, I, the next summer I said I'm going to try something different and try Cutco. And I'd come home in the evenings at whatever 8, 9 o'clock at night, and I'd be like, man, I'm just so beat. I don't even want to take a shower. I just want to go to bed, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I was like, I haven't been out digging holes all day and putting this above ground pool out in the hot sun. And I'm like, I've been sitting in AC all day in my AC car and walking into houses doing presentations. And lo and behold, I was just mentally tired. And as time went on, that tiredness went away. And, it's been I went to a lot of the conferences, not all of them, but, whether it was a trip down to Florida, highly encourage those. I'm assuming they still do them. And without the sales training that I had at Cutco, I didn't get half the training I did from Cutco as I did my professional job. We've had a lot of sales trainings over the years, but it all reverts back to that initial training with Cutco. And my branch manager at the time, Pat Huttenbach, he's now owns his own law firm in Houston, Texas. And, he was selling Cutco well after I was, and he probably sold it 10 years after he got out of the business, so to speak. But he maintained his client base. He emailed them, and probably back in the day, he actually sent them a catalog in the mail for Christmas orders. And then his little sister got into it, and so she started doing it, and he maintained those accounts. We tried to do. It was all a networking thing for us at the time. I mean, we go in to see Brandon. Brandon, hey, do you have maybe 10 other friends that you might be able to recommend that I could go see that can just help me out with my scholarship, a chance at a scholarship? And it just ballooned, and it was excellent experience, excellent training. If you can, I've been a sales manager over the years. If I had a chance to hire a Cutco person versus a non-Cutco, hands down, Cutco every time. Unfortunately, believe it or not, I've never had a chance to hire a Cutco salesperson. I did have a chance to hire a Kirby sales vacuum person one time, and unfortunately, which was a big contender in the business back in the day. But the girl from Kirby had an ear ring, or I think she had a nose ring, and my boss didn't like it at the time, and she was against it. And I tried to fight her on it, but she wouldn't let me. But it was a great experience. It was a fun time. We had a blast with it. It's an experience that if you do well, it'll set you up indefinitely. You can learn a product. You can't learn sales. Either you can do it or you can't. It's kind of my opinion. And I've seen people do well in certain kind of sales and not as well as in others. But this gives you an overall base knowledge that you're going to use for the rest of your life if you stay on the sales side of things. And quite honestly, just in dealing with people, I can walk into pretty much any place. And in fact, I ran into Brandon at the boat show and started talking to him, and it was no problem. You can put me in a room full of 50 people or 500 people, and I'll be just fine. If y'all have any questions for me, by all means, let me know. I can go over some of my experiences right now. Like I said, I'm in the billboard business or outdoor business selling advertising. I was in the radio business for about 10 years at early on before getting into the billboard side of things. It's been a great experience for me. Cutco was, and I'd highly recommend y'all stay with it, stick with it. I don't know where y'all start on commission structures these days. I think we started at 10 or 15%. And it quickly elevated from there and went all the way at our time, it went up to 50%. Give you an idea, Cutco, the Homemaker Plus 8, when I sold it, was $650, give or take a little bit. So, but I think one of the best presentations I remember, or most memorable, was I was this lady was in her house and her husband was sitting down watching TV, and we're at the kitchen table and I'm doing the demonstration. He doesn't want to have any part of it. He's like, just do whatever. And so I'm negotiating this deal. When we get down to the end, she's like, I can't spend that. And she doesn't want to say too much because if her husband hears that she's going to spend $650, he's going to go ballistic and probably throw me out of the house. Well, long story short, I think we ended up doing a 3-payment plan, maybe $150 each payment, per month. And she signed up and I walked out of there and her husband's like, all right, have good evening. Not realizing she just bought a brand new set of kitchen knives. Now, with that being said, my sample set is still in my kitchen drawer today. And in fact, I just sent them off less than a year ago to be sharpened for the very first time. And my friends that bought stuff from me, or it was more likely their parents bought product from me and they still have it in their drawers because their parents bought it as a wedding gift to them. And they're like, yeah, no, I still got my Coco knives, man. And they send them off for sharpening. I said, yeah, here, send it to this address and they'll take care of it. And, it was a good time. Like I said, you'll learn more than you can ever realize early on. And if you succeed, it'll open the doors and you'll have a base knowledge that most companies won't give you these days. Whether it's, they all say they do, but they don't. When I got into radio, they didn't give me any training. Ultimately, down the road, they did give me some training, but if it wasn't for the Cutco sales experience, I would have been lost. And it was a good time for me. Y'all have any questions?
Yeah, well, I have one, and then I'm gonna open it up to the group.
Yep.
So we started talking about it earlier, making calls. Now we make it on a cell phone. Now there's an app to log appointments. Now we can do a virtual appointment or go to the customer's house. So when you started, what were those experiences like for you? Try to keep it in like a minute and a half if you can.
Yeah. So what we used to do is, the prime calling time was between 7 and 9 to set your appointments for the next day or the next week, really for the whole week. And, we'd use everything from directories from golf courses. If you got a hold of a directory from a private school, we'd use that and we'd start contacting those people unless we had referrals. And, from 7 to 9, we'd sit on the phone and just make calls. And the longer you did it, the more successful you were. We had a general script, but everybody was slightly different. And I can still almost repeat most of that script, not all of it, but, it's so you set your appointments. For us, it was all in person. There was nothing, no Zooms, no online. I mean, it was in person. You drove to the house, met them. Typically, most of us we were in particular neighborhoods or particular areas with a little bit more disposable income. So, like in Chattanooga, we wanted to locate Signal Mountain, Lookout Mountain. Back in the day, East Brainerd wasn't hopping yet, but nor was Ottawa. But those were some of the key areas. The North River area near the country club, that was a huge area. I mean, it was all big money down there. So we wanted to, get in front of those folks as much as we could. It was, and what you did on the 3 nights or however many nights you set appointments, that made the difference for the whole week and even the following week. And once you get your baseline appointments in there, then, it's a numbers game. You see 10 people, you're going to close whatever. I think I'm trying to remember my closing percentages and I cannot remember, but it was strong. I mean, it was rare I walked out without an order. I want to say, without overstating it too much, I'm going to just say 60+%. And that might be a paring knife or a pair of scissors. And that may be all I get, I think my barbershop, he bought a spatula spreader from me. That's all he ever bought from me. But I sold him a spatula spreader for $28.
I love that. All right. Well, team, now's your chance. What questions do you have? Right? He's in a different league now doing different things. But I mean, I think one general idea was that he credits a lot of his experience to Cutco. So whether you're on Zoom or you're in person, who has questions? Mr. Brink.
How did Cutco translate to the advertising business?
So a lot of it was work ethic, but the sales skills, overcoming objections, customer need analysis, um, that is all built into the Cutco sales training. Um, and when you get into the quote unquote the real life, if that's what you want to call it, or a professional job, I mean, you're going to have to do the same thing. I still qualify my prospects when I go see them. I talked to a guy today. They've got 8 offices, and I'm like, yeah, I need to talk to this guy. He gave me the name of the owner of the company. It's determining what their needs are, uh, and it's setting. We call it building a funnel. You want to make sure you have plenty of prospects in your funnel. As the funnel gets smaller, those prospects are going to narrow, but you're going to get more sales. And it's the same thing with Cutco. I mean, the more people you get in the funnel, or the more people that you prospect, the more likely you are to have success. It's not, to me, sales is not rocket science. It's not difficult, but I can tell you overall, it is difficult for a lot of people. Some people can't do it. I've had some people that I hired a girl that used to sell Nextel back in the day, which was a walkie-talkie type cell phone, and it was the hottest thing going at the time. She was killing it. I put her into radio sales, and she fell flat on her face. I mean, and not because she was a bad person or a bad salesperson. It just wasn't her type of business. But all the all the things that y'all get trained, that Brandon trained you up on, the objections, negotiations. I mean, I do negotiation every single day. I mean, I'm talking to a guy about 6 billboards, and I already know he's going to try to kill me on price. What I'll do with him, I'll actually elevate his price a little bit to be able to come down to a reasonable level. But that's all a negotiation. And yeah, I can go in there and say the price of your billboard per month is $900, and I'm not moving off it. But in reality, there's give and take all the way along your whole career. And I think the worst negotiation, I'll be honest, the worst negotiation I ever did was my first professional job out of college, working for the Heil company. I came in and they said, we'll give you $22,500, not a penny more. I said, well, I was really thinking about 27. And they said, no, 22.5, that's it. And I was like, okay. And it was by far my worst negotiation. But year 2, of course, they bumped me up, $4,000 or $5,000. They just wanted to make sure I'd work out.
I love that. I love that. We got time for 2 more questions. Jacob.
What's your number 1 tip for someone that's in their first year at Cutco that could launch them into doing better or going into a better career path?
Repeat that last part of the question because I missed that.
Or going into a better career path.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Cutco, I don't think you can get better experience at y'all's age than Cutco. I mean, Verizon maybe was good a few years back, but it no longer is. I go to so I bought a TV today from a company called Electronics Express, and the only reason I went back to there was because the girl was knowledgeable of what this OLED and QLED, which I have no clue what any of that is. All I know is it's LED, but she gave me the information, so I went back and bought it from her as opposed to buying it over on Amazon. It's gonna provide you a base knowledge. If you can show some success in Cutco, I assure you. I mean, every one of the top performers I know at Cutco when I was there is a top performer today. Whether you take my old branch manager or that originally hired me in, owns his own law firm. The guy that was number 2 in our office, he owns his own private investment company. Guy number 3, he was an MIT grad. So if you do well there, and I'd recommend going to the conferences. I know they cost a little bit of money, but it's well worth it. The knowledge that you'll pick up, you'll use for a lifetime.
Love that. All right, we got time for 1 more question. What's itching in your brain? And you're like, all right, I got to ask it. Molly.
What's your best way? Do you have like a strategy for getting referrals for like people who Like,
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so,
we're struggling.
well, when I was at Cutco, we had the 100,000, I think it was 100,000, might have been $10,000 shopping spree. I'm not sure if y'all have
That
any,
is so long ago. That is awesome.
so, so what we did was we'd give away, if you sign up for every 10 people you write down on this list, this piece of paper, we'll give you one entry into the contest. It was, of course, a nationwide contest, much like these radio contests are these days. So we'd use that. So what I use now is it's a referral business for me personally. I mean, I was in talking to a Health and Tire who, quite honestly, I mean, he cost me a lot of money because he didn't pay his bill and he got behind. And the way it works with us is after 90 days, you don't get paid if they don't pay their bill within 90 days. So, but he's still a good friend and is referring clients out to me left and right. Uh, it's a lot easier for me to call up Brandon and say that Cade recommended me or that, Cade said I could stop by and talk to you than just outright walking in the door. And I do walk in the door a lot, but if I got an opener, this Electronic Express that I got a lead today from, because I bought a TV from him and talked to the store manager. I said, "Do you mind if I use your name?" He said, "Absolutely, go ahead." And so now when I call the owner or email the owner in the marketing department, I'm going to say, I think it was Noah that suggested I contact y'all and was interested in a billboard. I know he doesn't make that decision, but might be something we can talk about.
I love that. I love that. Mr. William, thank you so much for your time. I think it's very obvious that your per hour rate is pretty expansive. So thank you for the wisdom. Thank you for dropping the knowledge. And honestly, like I didn't even tell him to talk about conferences. And so I find it really
I'm assuming
awesome.
you all still do them. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know if y'all even do them anymore.
Yeah, we have a big one called Opening Day coming up that I've
Okay.
been promoting to the team, and literally in 2 slides, I'm about to talk about it. So thank you. If you'd like to stay on and listen, you may. If you need to go, completely understand as well. But truly, thank you for your time today, my friend. And
Yeah, no, make the best of it. Enjoy it. Um, like I said, it'll be, if you can do well at Cutco, and even if you don't do well, that's fine. I mean, it just may not be where you want to be at. Everybody's a little different. It doesn't mean you're bad because you aren't happy there. That's the number one thing is I say you've got to be happy where you're at. Encourage the folks you're with. I mean, I've I've basically been a top performer all my life in terms of sales. I rarely say that because the way I was brought up was not to brag about it. And I feel that that's bragging. But with that being said, I can tell you just based on how well I've done, it's quite easy and for me, but it's not for everybody. But encourage the folks, help them out as they need help. I'm not sure if I'd reach out to somebody on a sales call, but it's different these days. I get it.
if anybody has questions, would you mind that I share your personal contact with them?
Absolutely, feel free. Put my cell number out there, and I might text. I do text, so you don't have to worry about that part. But if you try to hit me on Instagram, not going to happen. You might see my son in Knoxville partying it up. I definitely spent a lot of time in Knoxville as a kid, but never went to school there.
Amen. Well, thank you for your time. And again, if you'd like to stay, you may. If you need to bounce, again, that's fine too, man.
Yeah, I'll hang for 5-10 more minutes.
Awesome. So real quick, biggest takeaways. Let's get 3. What were the biggest takeaways from what we just heard?
You put in good work, you're gonna get a good output.
I love that. Right. And it's simple too, isn't it?
The Cutco experience doesn't stop at sales.
Oh, where else can it expand to?
Life, advertising, anything,
Amen.
business.
You're gonna be a good pastor one day, right? Again, it's still that same promotion. It's still that same sharing of thought, sharing of energy, right? I love that. Jed?
Don't be afraid to walk in the door. I mean, that's a crazy point. I mean, just to walk in the door, that's crazy. So
Right.
I'm gonna take that to heart.
Amen. And that said, there is a level of Cutco where that is actually applicable to the business. It's our closing gifts, right? And so if I was solely focused on just doing closing gifts, part of that Rob Robincheck, which if you've been to SC2, Jacob, you might be the only one that knows him. Olivia, I know that you know him. He sold $550,000 for SC2 in 3 weeks. And most of that business is generated because he's not afraid to walk in a business and say, hey, I work with such and such and such and such and such and such. And I noticed that I don't work with you. So I wanted to introduce myself, tell you what we do, and get to know you a little bit. Right. And it's literally a cold walk-in. So that is a program that if that part excites you, you can get to. 30K in sales is that minimum. Kristen Stayback will then train you on that program. Right. So love that. Good feedback from Mr. William. I'm going to speed up my talk just a little bit because I want to make sure that we have enough time to do recognition today. But I wanted to talk a little bit just about professionalism. All right. When it comes to making sure that you show up the right way, I was asking Jacob, what does he feel the team needs to hear right now? And he's like, I feel like it needs to be a little bit different. Maybe not demo specific. Like, let's talk professionalism. Right. And so I was thinking, I was at the show. I was like, all right, what are some just quick, like good points and some stuff that I could share? And 3 questions came to mind. Right. What does it look like? First off, what does it sound like? Secondly, and then how do you actually live it? All right. And so as you can see on screen, I have a couple of bullet points. I'm going to talk about them very briefly. Number 1, though, when it comes to what does it look like, it's sharp attire. I think when Mr. William met me, I was in a bow tie. Is that right?
I believe you were. And
Right.
if I can add one little piece here, Brandon.
Yeah.
So what we were always taught was whoever we're seeing, you want to be dressed equal to or one step, even better yet, one step above. So if you're going to see a doctor, you don't want to be in a golf shirt and a sport coat. You need to be in a suit and tie because that's what he's going to be in.
Right.
If and conversely, if I'm going to see a construction worker, I don't want to be in a suit and tie. I probably want to be at most a pair of khakis and a golf shirt.
Love that. Right. That's a fire tip. I would write that down. Like, this is stuff I wasn't even thinking about, but that's completely true. Right. Next is your hair done. Did you go get a fresh haircut? I have it in my schedule every 2 weeks, roughly. Sometimes I hit 3 weeks to go get a haircut. I went and got one today, even though I didn't have the time to, because I know that it's important to have that presentation. Right. So are you actually groomed? Are you well kept? And are you showered? Right. Are you showered? Do you smell good? Like, do you look like a professional? I always say in training that if you're going to ask somebody for $1,000 order, like, you should look like it. It should not be oh, well, does this person like actually understand what I'm spending right now? Like, that shouldn't be a question. And if you show up the right way, you're automatically going to have that impression of like, this person knows exactly what they're doing. Right. That credibility goes a long way. How does it sound? Calm and concise. Whenever y'all call me with a problem, what is my first response every single time? Well, yeah, that's right. What is the solution for it? But usually, just like we say when a customer says no, what do I say? Yeah, no problem, right? Well, hey, no worries. Like, we'll figure it out. It's going to be okay. And so having that mindset of no matter what, it's going to be okay. We're going to figure it out is what allows me to stay calm and concise, even in heated conversations. Second is that it's engaged, it's enthusiastic, it has that interest level behind it. I always say people don't care how much you know until what? Everybody together.
They know how much you care.
Exactly, right? When it comes to actually like having a good conversation, you want to make sure that you are being interested, not interesting. And the more time that you take to actually have these conversations and show you care, the more they're naturally going to want to buy into you. I know that William and I talked for like a solid probably 10, 20 minutes. And it was like, hey, look, like, this is probably not even on your radar or something you'd want to do. But like, I have a team that I train up in Knoxville. Would you be down to like actually talk to him? He's like, oh, dude, I'd love to do that. And I was like, yay, right? That was so cool. And then again, clean and educated language. When you talk, do you sound sophisticated? Do you sound like you've actually looked in a dictionary and my verbiage is not limited to 50 words? Do you cuss every other sentence, or do you know how to have a conversation and communicate ideas without getting angry and resulting to a cuss word, right? And then how do you live it? Number 1 is planning. Fail to make a plan, plan to fail. If you fail to make a plan, you plan to fail. If you know that you're going to show up at 6, but hey, there might be traffic in Knoxville, well, did you make sure that you left with plenty of time knowing that could be a situation? When it comes to the growth aspect of it, are you consistently pouring into yourself? If you're consuming knowledge that is good for you, chances are the things that you say, the things that you do are going to be in alignment with the stuff you've been learning. I was actually driving here for my hair appointment. I've been really heavily in the news lately, like, hey, what's going on? Let's make sure we're educated. And like, it got to a point to where I literally had to turn it off. No, this is not good for me right now. I got to go run an interview, run a team meeting, and this is not serving me. Right? So what are you actually pouring into your mind on a daily and weekly basis? Are you acting honest and humble? When you carry yourself through life, you can either take actions where owning your mistakes, making sure that you're trying to be honest and forthcoming in everything you do, or you can have the consistent needing to look over your shoulder because you're not doing things above board, right? Live honest, live humbly. And then tip that's actually from a book that I read called Atomic Habits. It's called habit stacking. And so when I talk about all these different things, you don't start trying to apply them all right away. You start with one thing. All right, for this week, I'm going to make sure I wake up at 7 o'clock every single day. Awesome. I did it for a week. All right, now I'm going to start waking up at 7 o'clock every day. And I'm going to make sure I read 5 pages of like a good book. And as you keep building the habits, all of a sudden, 7 a.m. leads into now I work out 7 days a week or 5 days a week because it started with 5 pages a day. And then it started with, okay, I made sure I drank a bottle of water as soon as I woke up. And then it started with, okay, I actually feel awake. Let me go brush my teeth. Oh, I'm really awake now. I brushed my teeth first thing in the morning. Okay, cool. I have the energy. Let's go work out. Right. One thing I'm really excited for is Brink's mission because it actually challenges me for what he's doing. If you don't mind, what are you aiming for right now?
Manager role.
As far as like your personal life habits.
Oh, it's DUA.
So like you said that you're cutting out video games.
Oh yeah. Video games. I'm getting up at 5 in the morning, just doing like morning prayers, and I'm reading these 2 books over Lent.
Love that, right? And it's one of those things where it's like, ooh, okay, when's the last time I've like challenged myself like that? So if you've heard of 75 hard, after I get back, I am officially starting my 75 hard. You can hear it. I'm going to count about it every day. And the WhatsApp, I'm going to say 1 day down, 2 days down. Hold me accountable. If you don't see that post, it means I didn't do it, and roast me. Call me out on it. Huh?
24?
24 what?
24? Is that when it starts?
25th. 25th. That's when it starts. So 1 day grace period when I get back, and I'm working. Okay. But
Hey,
day by
Brandon.
day, what was that, William?
So one thing I would add to this whole thing is for all y'all, put money back.
Oh,
Start an IRA, a Roth IRA, even if it's just 5%. I would encourage 15%. And if I'm not sure where y'all are in track in terms of taxes and stuff, but I got a rude awakening a few years ago when I went back to 1099 employment, and I didn't even think about it, and I should have known better. And I got a huge tax bill. Fortunately, I had the money to cover it, but it wasn't fun writing Uncle Sam that check. I promise you. But a Roth IRA today, if y'all put that money away, will pay you huge. You'll be retiring at age 55 as opposed to age 72.
again, I would write that nugget down. Roth IRA, ask me about it in the PC. Brandon, what is it? How do I do it? And if you already have one, again, you're steps ahead because we teach that in Leadership Academy. So thank you, William. So when it comes to the spring schedule, all right, we know that we have to have Vector Impact verified by 11 o'clock. If you do not, it will mark all your demos that you did not verify canceled for the week. And if you don't get that fixed, if we don't catch it, you'll be like, hey, I only got paid for 3 demos. Right. Well, it's because you did 10 demos, but like, I guess you were so busy that you weren't marking demos completed, and 7 of them actually didn't get registered. All right. So Vector Impact is your tool to make sure your base pay is entered correctly. So if you finish a demo after 45 minutes, you're able to mark it completed. Make sure you're marking them completed. Team meetings. What time do we start?
6.
What time do we start?
6.
What time do we finish?
8.
Yes. All right. So make sure you're here on time. The whole goal, again, is that you get an hour of phone time with the group where you're probably going to get a prize too. Okay. And then from there, team night out, we've officially set the date. So for everybody that's in town, March 27th, we are going to Maple Hall. It is a bowling alley / arcade in downtown Knoxville. We're going to have a really fun time. And my rule for team night outs when we host them, if you do $1,000 for the week, it's on me. Okay. So either way, come plan for it. It's going to be a fun time right before we leave for opening day. That said, if you sell $1,000 for the week, you're on it. Now, management staff, as you know, Mondays at 6:30 is our staff meeting. Key staff is Tuesdays at 6:30, and then campus dates we're about to show you. If you are at 10K or 15K, you can come and shadow me at the Corvette Expo this weekend to start earning your shadowing shifts to be able to start working events. To work events, you have to have one shadowing day in general, and then one shadowing day that is a setup day or a tear down day. Okay. Now we give out campus Cutco bucks for helping us assist on campus. So we have a couple of job fairs left. Summer experiences is 326 or 331. I'm not even sure which date it is right now because I just realized we have both of them in there. So I'll double check it. I think it's 326 because that is that Wednesday before we go to opening day. So it says it again at 3:31 at 12 p.m. So I got to double check that. Flyers for Tusculum. We just did the career fair on Wednesday. Had a fun time connecting with the students. Molly was actually there. She helped out with that. And then flyering, we have to go back up and flyer. Jacob will probably do this. 26 for sure for UTK.
Yep.
So flyers, Jacob will probably do when he goes back up to Johnson City to finish his office search. Pellissippi has a job fair that we're doing on April 9th at 11 a.m. And then we're doing flyers that day. Actually, that day passed too. Cool. So Carson Newman, I got to find a date to get flyers for sure, but I'm thinking April 1st when we get back from our conference. Maryville, if you know a Maryville student, let me get connected with them. And then that way, I think Molly, you said you have an RA over there, right? So put me in contact with that person. DECA, we got to judge, we got to recruit. I think we took over 50 applications at DECA this year. And it was really cool to actually judge and see, all right, these people in high school are actually ahead of their other peers. These people still need to practice. But it's a really cool program that allows them to start learning that right now. Yes, Jacob?
Do you want alumni from Maryville?
Yeah, whoever can connect me with people on campus so that I can get in touch with counselors.
Some teachers too.
Cool.
I sold it the home run record holder for that. So,
Beautifully. Right. So Cutco bucks, $12 per hour that you help us on campus. How this works, every single hour that you're working with us, you get $12 of Cutco bucks that you get to use to buy more samples. Jed got himself a hearty slicer. Again, he helped out with flyering. He helped out at DECA. Like, dude's been putting in work when it comes to campus. Kira has $96 in Cutco bucks she's not spent yet. And Molly, you're at $48 for helping us out on Tusculum. So as far as next events go, all right, again, opening day is March 28th through the 30th. We have SLDM's Sales Leadership Development Meetings in Nashville with Parker that are going to start on May 6th. We'll talk more about that after we get past opening day. And our divisional meeting is May 28th. This is a meeting in Nashville, all right? When it comes to opening day, first off, the conference is in Detroit. We carpool up, we take 2 or 3 cars, we follow each other in a line. That way we make sure we're safe. And basically it's just a really cool time and also your chance to learn management training. If you're going to be on my assistant manager staff for the summer, you will be at opening day, okay? If you sell from now, starting on Tuesday, all the way through the 28th, you are officially in the contest for the prizes. So you sell 3K, letter of recommendation from my boss's boss, Mr. Jeff Bry. At 4K, you get Champions Night. I love expensive food. What's better than expensive food? Free expensive food, all right. 5K, you get the brand new jersey. The one that I'm wearing is, I think, 2020?
yes.
Yes, awesome.
Oh, that one's not terrible.
So they put the year on it, right? And they put your last name on it. The number signifies the year that you've won it. I've been winning these jerseys every single year, and like they are so soft, like they're amazing. You can sleep in them, you can work out in them. Like these are really legitimate jerseys. This one is modeled after Real Madrid's team. So every year they pick a team, and that's who they model the jersey after. Last year's was Hungary, and that's why it was that greenish color. At 6K, you get the Spacebar K-Bar. 7K, you get a comparably banner. And then at 8K, you get the quarter zip that Mr. Franklin in the back is wearing right now. Again, these things are super comfortable, super nice. And it's really cool to have like branded Cutco swag, especially when you go on a demo, because they're like, oh, you take this serious. All right, cool, right? Helps you sell more, I think, at least in my opinion. Or you meet your realtors, right? So as far as cost goes, it's $189. You can pay this up front in full, or what's really nice, you can actually postpone the payments until summer starts. I just caught this, I think, when I was talking to either you or Zach Wallace on the phone. It's May 2nd. It's not even directly after the conference. So you get a month to use what you've learned to be able to sell more, to be able to pay for the conference over 5 payments of $38. Now that includes your conference, that includes your night stay, that includes dinner, that includes breakfast the next day. And I can't say this because it's on recording. There is a special edition for Tennessee to be able to incentivize us to go a little bit more. All right. So I'll talk about that when we're not on recording. This is at the Sheraton Detroit Novi Hotel. It's going to be a great time. I think, let me get a real quick check. I know Molly signed up, Brinka signed up, Jed signed up, Jacob signed up. I know Olivia's going. Cade is like right there on the fence. We're about to get him signed up. Yeah, Cade's down.
I'll
He's
talk to
going.
him. I'm
Mr.
pretty sure I'll
William.
be able to go. Yeah.
Awesome. Mr. William must have had an impact right there. I love that. And then Mr. Zach Wallace. We're talking about it too, right? So I'm really excited for it. My goal is that we take 10 to 15 people to this conference because what we take from this conference, the average rep that attends this sells 10 times more over the summer than the reps that don't go. So again, if you go, not only are you going to make more money over the course of the summer, who you meet, what you learn is going to impact you, as Mr. Williams said, for years to come. All right. So we're going to do the role playing challenge after for those that can stay and do it, just because, again, we're almost coming up to time. PEI, right now in the running, I have Mr. Ben Lorton and Damon Ard. They have not missed a single day, getting it in at 10 o'clock. Mr. Zach, I think you're on here too. I don't think you've missed a check-in yet, right? So Zach needs to be added to the board as well. So we have a sales report that we give out every single week. And if you finish in the top 20, you are the front page of the newsletter. This week, we had 2 sales representatives on it. First, coming in, have you been doing this for a minute? Like, have you been learning how to sell? Have you done a sales job before? Okay, first time ever, like, actually doing a sales job? Good. Have you been here for like a month? No? When'd you start? Friday, right? Started on Friday. Mr. Zach Wallace, number 8 in the entire region, doing 24-17. One clap on 3. 1, 2. Got her. 3. Very good. Very good. Next, we have Miss Lori Sweeting on the board, number 16, selling 12-20. One clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. Very good. All right. And then moving on to the CSP rankings, I sold a couple knives this past week at the Kingsport Home Show, a little bit over 10 grand. Moving on from there, though, we have Weekend Warriors. Again, if you sell $500 over the course of the weekend, you don't have to sell 750. You don't have to sell 7,000. If you just sell 500, the entire region's going to see your name. That means Jeff Bry. That means all the Parker Greavies, all 8 or now 10 of our division managers. And then every single district manager as well gets to see you on this report. So number 22, Mr. Zach Wallace, and then number 36, Miss Lori Sweeting as well. And what's cool about this is CSPs, meaning Cutco sales professionals, as well as other representatives too. Okay. So overall offices, round of applause, team. We took number 6 in the entire. Oh yeah, this is total business too. This is total business. So offices that have CSPs that sell professionally and sell a lot of Cutco and that have brand new reps. We were number 6 in the entire region in total business sales, and that deserves another round of applause too. I love that. That's awesome, right? And we beat Parker, right? Yes. So district teams, we were number 2 in the entire region, and then we have a K Club, all right? What K Club is, if you do 10 weeks over $1,000, you can see them at the front in my cabinet. They give you 8 table knives engraved with your name that say K Club on them. You do 10 weeks in a row over $1,000. Now, at 2K, they send you, whoops, I skipped it. Oh, we don't have it.
It's the same for 3K for people that are out.
Oh, yes, Kristen Stayback, the lady that runs our gifting program, has 258 weeks of at least selling $1,000. That's like 5 years. That's pretty crazy, right? At 2K, they give you a gourmet roll-up, which is the cleaver, the boning knife, the 7-inch Santoku, the 4-inch paring knife, and the gourmet. I'm sorry, the Hardy slicer. And then at 3K, they send you an entire galley set branded with your name. So if you do 10 weeks in a row over 3K, that's what you get. 2 weeks or 2K, 10 weeks, that's what you get. And then 1K as well. I feel like everybody can win the K Club at 1,000 by midsummer, by June. If you stay consistent, if you follow the program. Okay. Now, as far as sales rep promotions go, these are a week delayed. So recognizing Mr. Cadeland Festi getting his advanced sales rep promotion, you just hit over 3K, correct?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, buddy. All right, one clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. That said, Carter Sprouse got to advisor, getting right over 6K. Let's go. One clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. And this next week, we're going to have some more people up on this board too. Now, in total region, here's the report. So again, we finished number 6, and there are 10 division managers. That means that we beat 4 people, 5 people that have a higher title than the office that we operate in. That's pretty cool, right? Now, number 2 for total district team results, but this is one that I'm most proud of. Parker, we crushed it. This is out of all offices in the company. What number are we? Number 5 in the entire company in new business sales for last week. I'm really proud of that because when we compare it, that again, by the way, is division managers included. This one is just district managers, and we were number 3 in the entire company. Round of applause for that.
Beat Tyler Brown.
Right? Like we beat some heavy hitters this past week, man. I'm really proud of this, and I'm really excited to keep growing and keep developing because I know where we're headed. Again, we're gonna do $1 million this year. Oh man. I was hoping it was gonna hit. I ain't ready for it yet. We ain't ready for it yet. All right. So this week's goal is 16K. How much are you gonna sell? I'm working the Corvette Expo. I have a service event on Sunday here in the office. If you want to see me sell in the office too. All right. That said, I need help from y'all to hit this goal. Right. So if you have demos, if you're planning on going big, if you're planning on just doing 3 demos, you're planning on doing 1 demo, every trimmer counts. And I'm going to throw a little spiff out there, a little incentive. The top sales rep for the week, I'm going to give $100 cash when I get back on the 24th on top of your commissions and your pay that you get naturally. Anybody want to be competitive this week? Right? I threw a little spiff in there for Jacob as well for hitting the goal of 16K and working together as a team. So for the week so far, here's where we're at on the board. We have Mr. Cade at 1289. We have Zach Wallace at 907. I turned in an order earlier for 704. And then Manny Leslie on the board. By the way, this is his first time being back on the board in like 4 weeks. So again, if you've been rusty, if you haven't had momentum, if you're just getting started again, it's never too late. That was his first demo in like 4 to 5 weeks. And it was literally like riding a bike, right? So get back on the bike. You know how to do your job. And then for key staff, we added them. Cadelin Festi, Connor Dial. I actually want to make a special, not even on the board one. Zach, you've been working amazingly hard. I've loved your consistency, and I would love to add you to my key staff as well. So congratulations, sir. So that said, key staff meetings have been pretty good. Again, if you aren't even on key staff, 865 Knife Knocks on YouTube. You can go check out the videos and what I've been covering. But to attend in person, you have to be on the key staff. I look for consistency. I look for a newsletter focus. I look for people that communicate and like actually are being consistent in PDI check-in. If you don't check in, we can't help you be great at the job. I can see each and every one of you being $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a week plus reps. But you got to do the work yourself. Okay. So as we break today, I'm going to set PCs with the people I'm meeting with. Jacob's going to set PCs with the people he's meeting with. And this week, challenges, again, especially with it being spring break, what can you do before you go on spring break if you are? If you're not going on spring break, but it is spring break, what could you accomplish in just working hard for a week? What's really cool is you're probably going to surprise yourself with what you do. Because I know a lot of you, when you first started this job, what you sold in your first 10 days, you didn't think you were going to do that when you started training. And now we have some people on the board, right, for our fast start board. So everyone, my name again is Brandon Phillips with the 865 Knife Knocks. I'm really proud of where we're at. Number 5 office in the entire nation. And we're going to do $1 million this year. Yeah, baby. Mr. William, I appreciate you being a special guest on our team meeting. I'm going to stop the recording now. So if y'all have any questions for Mr. William, let us know. We still have a drawing to do to see who wins this 3-inch paring knife today.